apple made apple pies, family size. Leather bombers and Nike Sacai's. Dangerous corners, you better pray that tomorrow arrives. Rap, Sugar Ray Robinson, nothing sweet. Y'all too out of shape to even box with me. Heavyweight, I know my way around the ring. Just like Shorty know her way around the storm. Making hits with Hit Boy, all he gotta do is hit record. Record-breaking news, had to show up just to fill a void. Confused boy, little boys, y'all better keep your poise. Leave me out of the weasel. Be cool when you see me, I'm hot at all that rap deep. The hood know you, so we don't borrow, believe in it. Locked in on the instrumental, I took back the key to this. Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me that flow back. Your top three, I'm not number one, how could you post that? I would have crowned the city as mine.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Seattle Seahawks and the Chicago Bears. Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in week 4. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Right there, every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've comped it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields. This is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. The end result, 21 yards. Fields going to toss this quickly out wide, complete. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. N'Keal Harry his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. And Jonathan Garibay out for the PAT. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This is taken just shy of the... And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. A costly mistake there in the return game, and that is not how you want to answer an opening touchdown.
Yeah, and your defense is asking you a lot of questions right now because you're already down 7-0. You turn the ball over, they've got to go right back out there to try and keep it from getting to 14-0.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run with Montgomery. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Montgomery is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Fields going to get this one out on the perimeter. Touchdown! N'Keal Harry with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bears are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And that is off the left upright. It's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kyler Gordon picks it off, and the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 33. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about a race, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
2nd and 9 now. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. On the return, Johnson. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And Charles, they're really stringing these possessions and scores together early. We're still in the first quarter, but if they can score again here, look out.
Yeah, and as you taught me when we're broadcasting games, one word we're supposed to avoid, and that's blowout. But that's exactly what's going on here. Down 3 possessions just the first quarter. That goes beyond any worst-case scenario we might have thought coming into this game. And another touchdown here, that should eliminate any hopes for any type of a comeback.
From the 38, Fields. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And that is incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's taken to the 26. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick-6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And partner, when you get off to a first quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
Get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. But that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bears are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. Fields leaving it with Montgomery here on the option. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going. And really the offensive line not helping him much. From the 38, Fields. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Fields. This time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point.
And it'll be intercepted. It's Bubba Bolden who picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And now here's another interception. And they will score. Pick 6 for Bears touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter, my goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. If you're on the field, you got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They start the drive with Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. He'll look to throw. And I think the ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite. And what an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And Cook has it. Left. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just me. I don't know that I... for Fields to turn, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They're going to look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game,
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Returning from his end zone is Ty Johnson. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. 3rd quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A read option. Here's Montgomery. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Back to throw. Fields. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the 2nd half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And they'll get this down to the 10. 56 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Garibay back out there now to send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So now a fresh set of downs, first and 10 after roughing the passer. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
I'm glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. Third quarter here, second and 10. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And now here's another interception. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the Bears are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
It's Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a third down and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Fields. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. He couldn't get away there on third down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And take it right at the 35. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 3rd at MetLife Stadium. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. First down, here's the run with Cook. You saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bears are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. I think it's safe to say this is a game he's not going to forget anytime soon, Charles. 3 interceptions.
It's rare that we see 3 interceptions by one team, let alone by an individual. And I think that after the second one, he's probably telling his teammates,
nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Running for it, Montgomery. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. 1st down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a give running left with Montgomery. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
I think I like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Cook. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And now here's another interception. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rhythm of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss.
Nifty move. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Stopped on the play by Jaquan Brisker.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And my goodness, another interception. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. On third down, they go Montgomery. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, fourth down.
He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a fourth down. On fourth down, Fields.
And he finds a man with a crossing route.
And he is going to have the Bears first down as they wind up getting 13 there on fourth down.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
That one looks like he'll throw here.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout.
I'm downstairs. I told you I'd be ready. You always got excuses and you know I be on top of things. Punctual my proper name. On the dot is not your aim. Although we in love, we are not the same. I hit you on that celly.